Up next on Eco Company.
We've heard of a lot of things.
Grab that and
Alrighty, my tool.
have fun.
But a boat made of plastic? You bet. And I'm hopping a ride to learn more about the trash polluting our oceans.
Then green glam on the runway. That's right, we said green.
Here, all the clothes are made out of biodegradable fabric and like hemp and all this crazy stuff. So
It's an eco-friendly fashion show that won't disappoint.
And time for power tools. What these teens are up to in their school garden.
Good job.
Eco Company.
Starts now.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Eco Company. I'm Jordan, and Adam's headed out to the marina. You know, there's a lot of trash out there in our oceans, and he's meeting up with researchers to see just how bad the situation really is.
So guys, this is a first for me. I'm sitting on a boat made of plastic bottles. Now, plastic is a major problem in our oceans, and we're meeting with some crusaders who want everyone to know about it.
So we just came across another windrow.
Meet Anna Cummins and Marcus Erickson. These two marine researchers are sailing the world's oceans, but they're not looking for treasure, they're looking for trash.
We're chasing junk in the water.
We've been seeing tons of bottle caps, shotgun shell, a boot.
This is exactly the kind of stuff these guys don't like to see, and why they're researchers for the nonprofit Algalita Marine Research Foundation.
The mission of the Algalita Foundation is research and education. So we go to the Pacific and we study what's out there. We come back and we tell the world.
This is the North Pacific Garbage Patch, where trash collects in the middle of the ocean. But it's not the only so-called gyre out there.
This is 45 minutes of scooping through another windrow in the middle of the Sargasso Sea. I think we found the Atlantic garbage patch.
Eric and Anna are studying all of them through their project, 5 Gyres.
Now look at this plastic bottle. Now we find these all around the North Atlantic gyre. Bits of plastics chewed on by marine life.
I wish the rest of the world could see this, to see that the human footprint is everywhere on the planet. Everywhere you go, from North Pole, South Pole, in the middle of every ocean, you will see the human footprint.
I was absolutely shocked when our first couple trawls came in. We collected now in the North Pacific Ocean, the North Atlantic Ocean, and the Indian Ocean. We've collected over 100 trawls, and every single one of them had plastic in it.
Here's the problem with plastic.
Plastic is a petroleum product. It's non-biodegradable. It was designed to last forever, but we're now finding that that's coming back to haunt us in ways people never predicted. It won't break down, but it will photodegrade. So the sunlight and the wave action will break it into these tiny, small pieces that are now becoming a huge problem because animals eat it. Animals get entangled in it. We're now finding it winds up in the food chain, and it's having devastating impacts on our marine ecosystems.
You got a fish? Yeah. So we just pulled out this plastic bucket, and we found a triggerfish inside that's so big that it looks like it can't get out.
But fortunately for this guy, Anna and Marcus saved the day.
There we go. Oh my God.
Back in the Algalita lab, Marcus and Anna show us that the situation's not much better in oceans across the globe.
What you're looking at here is 3 different samples from 3 oceans. This is a sample from the North Pacific gyre, this is the North Atlantic gyre, and this is the Indian Ocean.
When you sail across the oceans, you see that it's basically this, a confetti of small plastic fragments.
Here is 0.7 millimeters. I don't know if you can see that one. That is really small.
Ann Zellers is an Algalita researcher.
You can see the plastic in there floating.
Once samples come back to the lab, contents are sifted and then dumped into a petri dish. Then it goes under a microscope that can spot even the tiniest pieces. She sorts through it all and takes the plastic out, piece by piece.
It's cataloged by fragment, foam, pellet, line, or film. We use it as ammunition to help us argue the point that plastic needs to be made so it's biodegradable.
This is one of the most commonly found plastics.
Everything that's plastic starts out as a pellet. What makes one piece of plastic different from another piece of plastic is the additives that they put into these pellets.
And what you might not realize is that this plastic also carries chemicals with it.
Plastic in the ocean acts as a sponge, like a magnet for chemicals like PCBs, pesticides, oil drops from our car, toxic chemicals. These chemicals don't mix with water, but they stick to plastic like a sponge. We know that fish are eating these plastic particles. We know bigger fish eat lots of those little fish, and we eat those bigger fish. So the question is now, what's getting into our sushi? What's winding up in our bodies?
Concerned about the impact to our food chain, Anna's even been tested to see what chemicals might be present in her body.
We looked into my body and we found that I have trace levels in my blood of PCBs, DDT, flame retardants, and PFCs. And these are all chemicals that are linked to reproductive disorders and birth defects and miscarriages and obesity and all kinds of issues.
While the link between plastic, chemicals, and our food chain isn't firmly established, they're working on it.
These are gyre samples from around the world. These are the Atlantic, there are some from the Pacific.
And they've got a lot of material to keep them busy. Finding out just how much of this stuff fish are eating is another piece of the puzzle they're trying to solve.
With these fish, we're going to look in their stomachs and see if they've ingested plastic. Then the next step is to look into the tissues of these fish and find out, is there a link between the number of plastic particles they've eaten and the chemicals in their tissue?
And we're not just talking fish. Birds are being impacted too.
So now what are we looking at here?
Well, now that you've touched it, we can tell you that this is a bird barf from a Laysan albatross. But don't worry, it's been sterilized and cleaned, because when that first comes out of a bird's stomach, it's the foulest thing you've ever smelled.
I'll bet. What they're consuming mostly is plastic, these plastic pieces. We've seen many lighters, even medical waste, syringes inside their bodies.
All this is not a pretty picture for our oceans and the life that rely on them to survive.
One study, 44% of seabird species either ingest or get entangled by plastic.
44%.
44% of seabird species.
The question is, what can we do to turn the tide?
Our throwaway society has to change. We can't think that when you consume a material and you throw it away, that it disappears. There is no away and throw away. The material goes somewhere. We've designed this little milk jug ring here. I mean, there is no recycle plan for this. We've got to make it benign by design. We can't keep using petroleum plastic for throwaway products. There are materials that we can make bags and cup lids and forks and knives out of that degrade in the ocean if they get to the ocean.
It's a message they're taking to young people too. They visit about 50 to 60 schools every year.
Kids get it. They have a natural sense of justice. They love animals. They love clean beaches. They love the environment and nature.
That brings us to this boat, built with the help of some high school students.
So this is the Kola Kayak. Tell me about this boat.
So this boat was built by the students of the Environmental Charter High School. We work with several schools to do different public projects, including boat building.
It's made out of 170 plastic bottles. Plastic bags were used to make the rope.
Well, this is going to let people know that this is where ocean trash comes from. It begins here on land, washes out to the ocean, so solutions are here, not there.
Because out there, the damage is already done.
Do you want to take it out for a little spin?
Let's take it for a spin.
The big message here?
The planet cares for us. It gives us air, food, and water that we need to survive. We have to care for those systems. If we don't, we are going to suffer. How was that?
That was awesome. Thank you.
Your school has an eco club and it recycles.
But does it have one of these?
So we're going to do something like that, you see?
These teens are building their very own compost bin, and they're showing us how it's done.
And how green are the clothes on your back? We're checking out some eco-friendly fashions that are better for the planet.
This really shows that it doesn't have to be granola to be green and to be fashionable and to be colorful and bright.
More Eco Company is next.
You know, composting is a great way to get rid of food scraps and help the planet.
Brendan met up with some teens building their own compost bin at school.
All right, guys, today we're on a high school campus where some students are putting some muscle into the garden. Let's go check out what they're doing.
So we're going to do something like that, you see? So we're going to kind of lay out our 3 bins together, but we're just going to use these pallets.
It may be after school.
Maybe we'll do a lower one too, down here and down here.
But these students from the Jewish Community High School of the Bay in San Francisco aren't headed home. They're headed into the garden. They're building a compost bin with some help from Jonathan Silverman.
Good job.
Founder of Feel the Earth.
They're gonna design it, they're gonna build it, they're gonna put it together, and then we're gonna actually start the decomposition process.
9th grader Pavla Bergenwolf is a member of the Eco Club. So Pavla, what are we doing here today?
Well, today we're building a compost system to go along with our garden. Right now we're planting lettuce, we have broccoli growing.
It'll be great because we won't have to buy our soil anymore, and it's providing really nutrient-rich, high quality soil, which we can start using.
Keep doing the holes.
Talk to me about the teenagers that are working here today. Roni Ben David is Director of Student Activities here.
Well, they come from the Environmental Club. We have a morning gardening program. A group of about 16 teens from different grades come together each morning, and we build the raised beds, we work in the garden, we talk about the food system and the role that food plays in community and food justice issues.
Something that's important to 12th grader Netzach Miller.
Sustainable agriculture and sustainable living in general is really important to me. So having a compost system is like the epitome of sustainable. You're taking your waste, your garbage, and you're turning it into soil, which you can use to generate new, fresh, organic crops locally without having to import it from far away, without having to spend gas and other natural resources.
We'll bring it to there, and we'd cut a line across. The most important thing I can do by working with students is to really empower them. Because what the next step is going to be is we're going to grab U-nails and we're going to start hammering them in, like boom. If I can teach them, engage with them, have them kind of understand how they can make a difference, then it's going to be a huge impact on the future of the world.
So John, take me through all these things that are going to go into the compost bin.
Sure, absolutely, Brandon. So the idea is the first layer is going to be this straw bale. And we're going to go about 4 inches up from the ground in that bin. And then we're going to go move into the browns, into the carbons. And we're going to do about 4 inches of this or so. And then we're going to focus on the greens over here, which are the green material and the plant waste. Whoa! And what you do is every time you kind of layer it on, we water. But one thing we're going to do to activate it is we're going to add a little soil on top of each layer to help speed up the process of decomposition. This is the finished product. Put your hands in there. Tell me what it feels like.
So this is what we put plants in and stuff, right? Wow, it's extremely soft.
Yeah, this is aged probably about over a year. This is really valuable. It's so rich in so many minerals and nutrients.
All right, well, let's go see it all get made.
Let's do it.
10th grader Elijah Jatovsky thinks this compost bin is a great idea.
It's a nice product, and it's nice that our school finally has a way to compost all of the excess food after lunch.
So what is the ultimate goal of getting all this compost?
Well, we plan to expand the garden and we'll put the compost in our expanded garden.
I'm really impressed with the work they've done today. They're hands-on, enthusiastic, and very much involved in the process.
Well, looks like a job well done. Here's what's coming up next on the show.
Okay, coming up.
Oh, hold on. It's Jessica. I gotta take this.
Well, that must have been important. Anyway, coming up next on the show, it's an eco-friendly fashion show that puts the glitz and glamour in green. Plus, you'll find a few sparkles too. More Eco Company is next. Hey guys, I'm back. And Adam, well, Jessica said the word party and he was out of here. Good thing they took a camera with them.
Hey guys, there are a lot of ways to go green.
And one of them is to throw an eco-friendly party for a cause.
I hear one going on over there.
I think we should go check it out.
Let's do it.
This isn't your average party with a DJ. This one's all about greening up the planet. That means promoting renewable energy, using a little star power to go green, and prepping for an eco-friendly fashion show.
All the clothes are made out of biodegradable fabric and like hemp and all this crazy stuff.
This party's put on by the Green Girls. Founder Apple Levy got it off the ground when she decided it was time to beef up on going green herself.
While I was looking for resources to get inspired, as a girl looking for just, ways to incorporate green living into my life, and I had no clue where to start.
Now she's helping spread the word about ways to go green and people making a difference. And we got to meet a few of them, like Dan Schnitzer, the founder of EarthSpark International. EarthSpark distributes solar-powered lanterns to women in Haiti.
And we found that women are organizing themselves into patrols, that they're putting them not inside of their tents, but actually outside of their tents to increase the lighting and prevent violence. Really, the big idea is about giving people the tools to be productive. Because the only way that they're going to get out of poverty and the only way that they're going to be able to improve themselves and their communities and their countries is by being more productive. And that's what renewable and clean energy allows them to do.
And Dan Cashton, who's behind the Climate Community.
So, tell us about your vision for Climate Community.
Climate Community is intended to identify and reward young people who are doing things to help the planet.
There are also a few faces in the crowd you might recognize. Rochelle Carson Begley is married to Ed Begley Jr. They've got their own show about going green, Living with Ed.
Truthfully, if I can do it, anyone can do it. I'm not exactly your most typically green person.
Hey.
So you teach an old dog new tricks.
Rochelle says she's glad to see green hitting the mainstream.
You know, it used to be 15 years ago or 20 years ago, it was a more unique lifestyle. You know, solar house, electric car, recycled everything, every gray water system, drought-tolerant lawn, the whole 9 yards. But now, it's more common.
Adam also caught up with actress Kylie Thorne.
What do you do to go green?
To go green, I obviously recycle. I mean, that's a given.
For sure.
But just with like hair products, makeup, things that don't get tested on animals, things that are biodegradable.
What an awesome party. A lot of amazing people with great ideas.
But that's not all. There's an eco-friendly fashion show that's about to start.
From gorgeous dresses to jeans and swimsuits, these fashions are eco-friendly from head to toe.
This really shows that it doesn't have to be granola to be green and to be fashionable and to be colorful and bright.
Taryn Hippo, aka the Eco Diva, is behind these fun, one-of-a-kind designs. They're all about reusing what you have.
I loved your dresses and the color that you used. Can you tell me a little bit about the materials?
Sure. Well, what I try to do is I take vintage clothes and prom dresses and things that are just really, really ugly, and I make them into something that's super short, cute, and sassy. My whole thing is I prefer to make clothes from clothes. And so it kind of gets rid of all the waste and all the chemicals and things, but at the same time, it's like, I found something like this, which looked like a gigantic Hershey Kiss when I found it, and it was awful. It was like down to the ankle and big and poofy, and I changed it into this, but then I also used a little bit of bling as like an accent piece for some of the other pieces. For me, it's like I still want the color, I still want the bling, but at the same time, it's like it works if it's repurposed.
You'll also find clothes made out of organic cotton, hemp, even bamboo. Frank Anjuli is behind Natural High Lifestyle.
This is part bamboo.
This is a bamboo and organic cotton blend. It's really unique. It's got a nice stretch in both directions, easy to wash and wear, and breathes really well.
Why do you choose to be eco-friendly?
It's a modern way of operating, you know. I mean, with the amount of information that we're privy to now, it makes sense to operate your entire life in the most sustainable and eco-friendly way that you possibly can. We try to bring that attitude to our clothing line.
Now you can't have an outfit without shoes, eco-friendly ones of course. And in this case, that means vegan too. Rebecca Minks behind these sparklers.
So this is not leather then?
No, there's no animal products used at all. All of the soles are made out of a corn plastic, so there's no petroleum used at all. They're recycled materials, they're organic linens, organic denims, all sorts of different materials, but anything but an animal.
So from greening the runway to talking about renewable energy solutions and how to get other people involved, these guys know how to make green more than just a trend.
Start caring, get passionate about preserving this planet that provides us so much.
And that's what we call putting the best green foot forward.
If your campus is doing something to go green,
we want to hear about it.
Grab your video camera and start rolling.
Create a video and upload it to our website at eco-company.tv.
Earlier in the show, you met Marcus Erickson and Anna Cummins, the ocean explorers raising awareness about the dangers of plastic polluting our oceans. And that's how they came up with this idea, to build a raft out of junk.
We're in the Pacific Ocean on a research mission, and we figured, let's build the ultimate plastic boat out of 15,000 plastic bottles and cross the Pacific.
Anna and Marcus, along with buddy Joel Pascal, built the raft in just 2.5 months. They stuffed long pontoons with all those recycled plastic bottles.
A Cessna 310 aircraft, the fuselage only. That was our cabin. 2 masts made of frame and a 1 square sail, no motor.
They figured the trip from California to Hawaii would just take about 6 weeks. So it's a good thing they didn't mind each other's company.
12 weeks later, we're still at sea, just washing up into Waikiki. It was an amazing adventure.
It was an adventure with so grand a purpose. We just have to wonder what these sailors will be up to next.
That's it for us this week. Thanks for watching.
You can check us out at Facebook or on eco-company.tv.
We'll see you next time on Eco Company.